Okay, sit yourself onto your left and come into a good cross-legged position. So let me just change the battery on here. Sit in a good cross-legged position and just come into swastikasana where there is levelness at the seat bones. So have a little wriggle about, make sure that you feel level and even at the seat bones, and then hold onto your knees, lift up into the chest and consciously draw your shoulders away from your ears, just lengthening the body upwards but drawing the shoulders down, lengthening the neck upwards. Just spend a few moments listening to your breath and look at something that doesn't move. Look at something that doesn't move and focus on filling the lungs from the bottom to the top. Emptying the lungs from the top to the bottom. And breathing evenly into both lungs. Breathing evenly out of both lungs. When you really analyse that, maybe you notice that you don't necessarily breathe evenly from both lungs all the time. So if you observe an imbalance in the breath, then aim to address it. Breathing evenly into both lungs from the bottom to the top like you're filling a jug of water. And then emptying your lungs from the top to the bottom like you're emptying a jug of water. Release your knees, bring your hands into Namaste. Press the palms firmly together. With an exhalation, draw your chin down to meet your chest. Lengthen your armpits into your elbows so that there is space between the hands and the chest, so that the lungs can fully expand. Listen to the breath and spend a moment to seek to generate a genuine, heartfelt sense of gratitude for something or someone or somewhere. Hold on to that feeling of abundance in the heart area, and then gently release the backs of your hands down towards your knees, palms facing upwards. As you raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Hold onto your knees and lift up into the chest. Elevate the heart area upwards. Draw your chin forwards and down with an out breath. And then on an in breath, raise the chin up to the ceiling. Just stay for a breath or two. Pushing the chin to the ceiling so you stretch the front of the neck. Keeping the shoulders away from the ears. And on an out breath, this time come down with the chin to the chest. Lift the chest to the chin. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. Take a deep inhalation. And this time on an out breath, raise the chin back to the ceiling. Again, stretching out the front of the neck. And then with an out breath, come back to the centre. Just bring the chin back so it's parallel with the floor. Take a deep inhalation, and with the exhalation, bring your right ear across towards the right shoulder, but keeping the shoulders down. So you stretch out the neck. The left side of the neck. Take a deep inhalation, and with the exhalation come back to the centre and left ear to left shoulder. Stretching out the right side of the neck. So gentle, controlled stretches just to warm up the neck. Take a deep inhalation, and with the exhalation come back to the centre and right ear across to the right shoulder. Just feeling your way around that left side of the neck. Just moving very slowly, very slightly, the position of your chin perhaps a bit closer towards the chest. Maybe a bit further away from the chest. Just to stretch out those muscles. On an out breath, come back to the centre and back over to the left. So little micro movements here, working with consciousness without overdoing it. And then with an out breath, come back to the centre. Hold onto your knees and puff up the chest through the action of holding your knees. Pull against the knees so you can lift the chest upwards. Take a deep inhalation and then draw your chin over towards the right shoulder, keeping the chest looking forwards. On an out breath, come back to the centre and over to the right, left even, over to the left. Take a deep inhalation and then back to the right side. And wherever your next exhalation comes, use that to turn the chin across to the left. And then come back to the centre. Hold onto your knees. Lift up into the chest, take a deep inhalation, and then turn to the right side, drawing your abdomen across, your ribs and your shoulders. Using your out breath to intensify the turn. This time just keeping the neck soft, just looking forwards rather than over the shoulder. Take a deep inhalation, come back to the centre on the exhalation and go around to the left. Take a deep inhalation. With the exhalation, come back to the centre and then just hold onto your knees, lift up into the chest, elevating the heart area upwards. And then sit back on your heels. Sit back on your heels, feel the shins pressing into the floor. Feel the shins pressing into the floor and lift up into the heart area, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. And then come forwards, hinging at the hips, just nice and slowly, just feeling that you're not in a rush to move into the final pose, just feeling the process of moving through the pose, stretching deeply into the arms, keeping the seat bones down on the heels, and finally bringing the forehead down. Press the seat bones down onto the heels. Spread the fingers, spread the palms. Take hold of each. Take hold of the edges of the mat like you want to tear it apart. Grip the sides of the mat and then push back into the heels. It's a much kind of more effective way of kind of pushing the seat bones back. So press the seat bones down. Feel what you could do in the arms in order to press the seat bones down. You lengthen into them. You pull on the mat. You push the mat away. And then try and maintain that action in the arms as you release the hands and bring the palms flat back onto the floor. So try and get that same action. It's really difficult, isn't it? But try and get that same action. Lift your head, bring your fingertips just come up onto your fingertips, and then walk your hands over to the right side. You probably won't be able to keep your seat bones down, but try. Draw the seat bones down. Feel that tremendous stretch in that left side of the body. Stretch deeply into that left side of the body. Try and get the chest to look down at the floor rather than out to the side of the room. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Feeling that tremendous stretch along that left side of the body, that left side of the torso. Back to the centre, walk your hands back to the centre and then over to the sides, over to the left. So this time stretch deeply and with consciousness into the right side, the right arm. Get the chest to look at the floor, try and get the seat bones down. They probably won't stay down, but try and get them down. Feel that tremendous stretch in the right side of the torso. And then walk your hands back to the centre and then come back into Adho Mukha Virasana, just stretching away, feeling that deep stretch from the seat bones into the arms. Just lift your head, but keep your hands where they are. Keep your right hand where it is. Thread the left arm underneath the right armpit, and then bring that left shoulder down onto the floor. Bring your head down onto the floor, and then really deeply activate that left arm, pressing it into the floor. Keep the right arm in Virasana, and then start to roll the chest down to face the floor. Try and keep the shoulder down if you can. Just prizing open the shoulder blade region. The more you push that left arm consciously into the floor, the more you open up in the shoulders, in the shoulder blades. And then just release, just come back into Adho Mukha Virasana. Just feel how you're warming up, quite literally, the body bringing a little heat into the limbs. Lift your head, leave your left hand where it is, thread the right arm underneath the left armpit, bring the shoulder down, bring the head down. Really activate that right arm deeply into the floor, push it into the floor, and then roll your chest down to face the floor. Pushing that right arm firmly into the floor, pushing the hand into the floor. And then just come back into Adho Mukha Virasana. And then just rest your arms at the sides of the body. Just spending time in Adho Mukha Virasana. Just with some variations. Now this can become heavy on your head, but it's good for quietening the brain. If it becomes too heavy on the head or on the neck, then consciously lengthen from the shoulders into the fingertips, just distributing your weight that way. Just letting there be some gentle pressure on the forehead, which quietens the frontal lobes of the brain where you do your thinking. And then stretch your arms away. Stretch your arms away, push the seat bones back into the heels. Stretch into the arms. Come up onto your knees, turn your toes under, and then come into dog down. Lengthening upwards, up into the seat bones, turning the fronts of the thighs inwards, corkscrewing those legs, turning the fronts of the thighs inwards so that the backs of the thighs broaden outwards, so that the fronts of the shins turn inwards, the backs of the calves turn outwards. So there's like a corkscrew action from the top of the leg all the way down to the foot. So the more you can activate that action, keeping the kneecaps tightened, the more you lengthen into the spine. Feel that someone's got a belt around the top of your legs and they're pulling you to the wall behind you. Okay, step your feet forwards, come up into a standing position, and then have some blocks for your hands. And then bring your feet as wide apart as your mat. So we're spending time in these initial limbering poses. We're lingering in the limbering, because they are deep when you do them with consciousness, and they can really address some of the initial tensions that we have around the body. They engage the body from the head to the toes. Forwards, hinging entirely at the hips, keeping the back straight, keeping the head lifted, and then bring the fingertips onto the blocks. So in this pose, I want you to hit your weight forwards on your legs so that your weight goes into your toes, and then press the ball joint of the foot into the floor and lift the heels off the floor. And then bring your weight back, hit the thighs back so that your heels come closer to the floor. And then keep hitting the thighs back until the weight goes into your heels. And then see if you can balance on the heels, lift the toes. So pretty strong, but see if you can lift the heels. It really stretches out the calves. And then bring the weight forwards again into the toes and lift the heels off the floor. Go up onto the tiptoes. And then hit the legs back, hit the thighs back so that so you're not consciously bringing the heels down to the floor. You're hitting the weight back so that the heels come to the floor. Keep hitting the weight back and then lift the toes. Pull the toes up towards the kneecaps. Keep the legs straight. Keep corkscrewing those legs, but lift the heels. Okay, and then bring the feet back down onto the floor. And then corkscrew the legs. Corkscrew the legs. Lift the seat bones. Project the chin and the chest forwards. So all on the higher lift. If you can go down without losing that extension, then bring the blocks closer to the floor, but go incrementally so that you can maintain the action of the legs. You can maintain the action of the spine. If you can reach the floor, then do, but again, not at the expense of losing that corkscrew, losing the straightness of the legs, losing the extension of the spine. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. So, an extended limbering pose. We usually spend some time, a fair amount of time in the limbering poses anyway, but actually we can really work deeply in these simple poses. Because we do them every day, we kind of know them, and so we can explore variations. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. And then walk your hands forwards, bend your knees if you need to reach the floor. And then bring the feet, the hands shoulder width apart, the feet hip width apart. And then come back into dog down, be on tiptoes to start off with. Turning the fronts of the thighs inwards, the backs of the thighs outwards, the fronts of the shins inwards, the backs of the thighs outwards, that corkscrew action. And then bring your heels down to the floor. So you really stretch out the calves. The problem with this, however, is usually evident in the front of the legs, where you get those creases at the ankle. So lift the heels until those creases completely disappear. Maybe it disappears more quickly on one leg than the other. Then reactivate those legs, tighten the kneecaps, lift the thighs all the way up to the top of the leg, corkscrew those legs. Keep the fronts of the shins lifting as you bring the heels down. And as soon as those creases start to appear, lift the shins a bit more. See if you can bring the heels down, but lifting those shins. It's really intense, isn't it? So just nice and softly. Okay, and then step your feet forwards, come up into standing position. And then come up into Tadasana. So breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. So some deep, intense poses to really stretch out the muscles. And because they are the poses we do every day, we do them every day without fail when we practice. There's a familiarity about them that maybe we kind of just do them just to kind of move past them, just to limber up. But there's a lot in there that we can really use to deeply extend. So breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, just observing how your body feels, how it has warmed up. Bring your arms out nice and wide in towards the chest, and then step or jump your feet nice and wide, the trikonasana. Turn the left toes in, the right leg and foot all the way out, just mindful of the alignment of the feet. So heel of the right foot in line with the instep of the back foot, just make sure that that's in the right place. And then corkscrew the legs, but the opposite way around, turn from the inside out. So inside out and outside in for the back of the leg. So corkscrew the legs, especially that back leg, especially the front leg, and then come down, find the shin. Look up, turn the chest up to the ceiling. Keep turning the legs from the inside out, from the big toe side to the little toe side at the front of the legs, from the little toe to the big toe at the back of the legs. If you can reach down to the floor, then do, but not at the expense of losing the extension. And then come back to the centre. Swap the feet around, turn the right toes in, the left leg and foot all the way out again. Just mindful of the foot position, just check. Corkscrew those legs, tighten the kneecaps, corkscrew the legs, and then reach across to the left side. Look up, but corkscrew the legs, don't lose the legs when you look upwards. Feel where they are in 3 dimensions. Turn the front of the thigh inwards. So the front of the thigh outwards. Back of the thigh turns inwards. So there's this corkscrew action. And then come back to the centre, bring your feet parallel, and then step or jump your feet back together. Come back into Tadasana, just listening to the breath. Feeling that you corkscrew the legs, the fronts of the legs turn inwards, the backs of the legs turn outwards. So when the hips are facing, when we're in Tadasana, when we're kind of preparing for forward bending effectively, the legs turn inwards. Tuck the tailbone in. Listen to the breath. Bring your arms out nice and wide in towards your chest, and then step or jump the feet apart. Go nice and wide with your legs, as wide as you can. Turn the toes in, and then have your hands on your hips, lift up into the chest for prasarita, padottanasana, so wide legs. Again, corkscrew the legs, turn the fronts of the legs inwards. Have the hands on the hips, lift up into the chest. Keep the head lifted as you come forwards, hinging at the hips, and then reach down. If you can't reach the floor, then use some blocks underneath your hands. Just find the floor. Have have the heels in line with the back edge of the mat. So step back and bring the feet in line with the back edge of the mat if you can. And then turn your toes in a little more. Rotate the legs inwards so that the fronts of the thighs turn inwards. The backs of the thighs really broaden outwards, which translates into the hips, up into the chest. Just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, nice and wide with the legs. Now from here, we're going to go back into trikonasana. So you're going to turn your left toes in slightly, turn the right foot all the way out, and then walk the hands across to that right leg. Just find the shin, bring the left hand onto the hip, and then turn the chest. Turn the chest up to face the ceiling, and then reach up. So I run out of ceiling height, but you can still turn the chest. Turn the abdomen away from the legs. Feel the warmth in the limbs. Bring the top hand down. Just walk your hands back to the center. Just come back into prasarita. Turn the right toes in, the left leg and foot all the way out. Bring your left hand onto the shin. Bring the right hand onto the hip and rotate that top shoulder. So it's a really wide trikonasana. And then reach up. So it's a wider trikonasana than usual, but incorporate the same corkscrew in action, the same straight legs, the same extension, but just a bit wider. And then bring the top hand down, walk the hands back to the center, come back into prasarita, padottanasana, projecting the chin and the chest forwards. Try not to be too heavy on the arms. Work the legs really deeply, lifting from the feet and up into the hips, up into the spine, to take the weight away from the hands. Okay, bring the heels of the hands down, bend your knees, and then step or jump your feet back together, coming back into Tadasana. And then raise your arms into advisable. So I just have to turn around a little for ceiling height, but you can just do it standing where you were. Arms straight. You can always bring the arms wider apart if you can't straighten your arms, but straight wider apart until you can straighten them. Just feeling the openness of your energy. And then release your arms and then come down onto your back into supta, baddha. So come down into supta, baddha, soles of the feet together, knees apart. And then we'll just release into the floor, just a moment of respite. Just listening to the breath, focusing on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. So our practice, rather than we just kind of focus on a specific body area, which obviously we can do, but we always should do that within the context of the holistic pose. So if we just, for example, did poses that just build up the arms, then there's no balance to that. You can't just build up one particular area. You have to work every area in order to bring a holistic approach to your practice. So we work from the head to the foot, from the feet to the head, from the face to the feet. Feeling the skin within the practice. Using the straight line of the floor just to allow the body to just relax for a moment. If there's stiffness in your hips, you can put blocks on the outsides of your thighs to support your hips. Otherwise, just using the floor. Okay, you'll need a belt. So get yourself a belt and then draw your knees together, or draw your knees together first. Just have your knees together, your feet apart. Just resting out the hips. See if you can reach your belt. If not, just sit yourself up. And then I want you to get hold of the shins and to bring the feet down precisely in line with the seat bones. Keep the feet flat on the floor. Maybe shuffle in to the heels. And then I want you to pull the right knee in towards the chest. Hook the belt around the right foot, around the ball joint of the right foot, and then elevate that leg up to 12 o'clock, 90 degrees. So we're not trying to pull the belt over the face, we're trying to bring that leg up to 12 o'clock. So feel how the hips change. So the lifted leg hip instantly wants to, with the buttock flesh kind of really lifts away from the floor. So consciously lengthen the sacrum into the floor, lengthen the tailbone into the floor. And then tighten the kneecap, turn the front of the thigh inwards. And then push the left heel into the floor and slide that heel away from the leg, away from the hip, until the leg straightens. So slide in the leg along the floor. Try and get the back of the knee onto the floor. Now maybe the seat bones feel a little more even on the, or the glutes feel more even on the mat. Just keep lengthening the sacrum spine from the lumbar. Draw the belly button to the spine. Corkscrew those legs. Corkscrew both of those legs, turning them inwards. Just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Okay, take hold of both ends of the belt in the right hand, as close to the foot as you can without bending the knee. Keep that leg straight. Bring the left hand onto your hip and then bend the right elbow out in line with your shoulder. And bring that right leg out to the side, trying to bring the big toe in line with your ear as you come over to the side. Keep the left leg really firmly activated. Bring in that right leg out to the side. It shouldn't reach the floor. If it reaches the floor, you're cheating. Then reset. If it's reaching the floor, your hand needs to go closer to the foot if your leg is on the floor. Keep that left leg really firm, corkscrewing that leg. Pushing into the heel of both legs. Okay, and then bring the leg back to the center. Release the belt and then just rest your leg down in the floor. Just relax into the floor for a moment. Your legs will feel different. The leg that you just stretched might feel lower into the ground than the other leg. Might feel lighter, might feel more energized. which it is because we've extended it. So we need to even that out. Maybe it even feels a little longer. So let's even that out. Pull the shins towards the seat bones, and then have the seat bones as close to the heels as you can. Have the heels shoulder width, hip width apart, seat bone width apart, and then hook the left foot into the belt. When we hold this is padangusthasana, supta padangusthasana. So padangusthasana employs the index finger and the middle finger. If you get hold of the big toe, it's the index finger and the middle finger underneath the big toe, and then you wrap the thumbs around the outside of the big toe. So you use those fingers principally on the belt, rather than just wrapping the belt around your hands. So the index finger, the middle finger, and the thumb. Really rotate that leg, corkscrew it, turn it from the little toe side, the front of the thigh from the little toe side. Just feel how the glutes on that left leg maybe don't feel as evenly on the mat. So work it into evenness. Slide the right leg away, keeping the heel in contact with the mat. As you do so, try and get the back of the knee of that right leg onto the floor. Keep the leg at 12 o'clock. If it's difficult to straighten the leg at this stage, then you can just feed that leg out a little until you can straighten it. So just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, corkscrewing the legs. Feeling the buttock area on the floor evenly on both sides. Take hold of both ends of the belt with the left hand. Rest your right hand on your hip so you stop that hip rolling over as you bring the leg out to the side. Bend your left elbow out in line with your shoulder, trying to bring that big toe in line with your ear. Bring the leg out to the side. Supta padangusthasana 2. Keep rotating the abdomen from the left to the right. Keep the legs corkscrewing. Keep the right leg really firm, like you're doing. It's a bit like trikonasana, isn't it? Just breathing even and deep inhalations and exhalations. And then gently release the leg, and then unhook the belt, the foot around the belt, and then just relax the legs into the floor, and the legs hopefully feel even again. Just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. And then get yourself a brick. We're going to go into setubandha. So pull your shins close to the seat bones again, the feet close to the seat bones, and then lift the seat bones up. Gather the shoulder blades together so you get lots of space to lift the chest, and then place the brick in the sacrum tailbone region of your back. So not too high up, in other words, so never in the lumbar. It's in the kind of right at the base of the spine. Take hold of the edges of the mat and rotate the arms. Try and tear the mat apart. Rotate the crease of the elbows out to face the sides of the room if you can. So you can stay with bent knees. It can feel quite strong if you straighten your legs, for your back. So if you're cautious of your back, you maybe just stay with your legs bent. You can try one leg, slide the right leg away, Keeping the heel in contact with the floor. See how that feels. Bring the leg back. Stretch out the left leg again, sliding it along the mat. Just see how that feels for your body today. And then bring the foot back. And if it felt okay on both sides, if it felt safe for your back and for your hips, then you can slide the legs away. Keep the legs straight, keep corkscrewing them. Keep the hands pulling on the mat, keep rotating the crease of the elbows out to the sides of the room so you stay right on the tops of the shoulders. And then just bend your knees, bring your feet flat onto the floor and stay just elevated for a little longer. Keep the shoulders, stay right on the tops of the shoulders. Keep the arms pulling on the mat. Okay, and then just release. Lift the seat bones up off the block. You might have to come up onto the tiptoes to do it. Adjust the shoulders and then guide yourself back down onto the floor. Have feet apart and the knees together. Just resting your back into the floor. And then gently draw your knees in towards your chest. Have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom. Just a gentle massage on the spine. So some fairly intense stretches, but poses that really stretch out any tensions in the muscles. Bring in a feeling of lightness into the muscles where maybe there was stiffness before. Just roll onto your side, sit yourself up, and then just come into a cross-leg position. Hold onto your knees, lift up into your chest, and then gently bring yourself around to the right side. And then come back to the centre, and then around towards the left. And then gently come back to the centre. Just take a blanket for your head, and then just guide yourself down along the mat. Just make sure you're in a really good straight line. Move any equipment out of the way that might be in the way. And then in a straight line, allow yourself to gently release into the floor. Consciously allow the body to become heavy. Just let go of the muscles of the arms and the legs. Release the muscles of the arms and the legs till the body becomes heavy on the ground. But maybe that heaviness is difficult to perceive because there's There's a feeling of irrepressible lightness that radiates from the bones. It could be around the chest or around the legs or the arms. Just feel that radiance penetrating into the muscles, and into the organs. Into the flesh and the skin, using your in-breath and your out-breath to distribute that feeling of energetic lightness down into the toes, into the fingertips, up into the top of the head. When you're ready to disturb yourself, just wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, bend your knees in towards your chest. Hold your knees into the chest and rock from side to side, from top to bottom. And then gently roll over onto your right side. Stay down for a breath or two. Just observe the feeling of the energy, feeling of the body, the lightness in the limbs. Hopefully the pain-free muscles in the limbs. Lengthen the top leg out, and then come up into a seated position. Just into a final cross legs with your hands in a mastiff, final spinal lift. Draw your breath in through your nose down into the abdomen, closing your eyes if you haven't done already. Be conscious of the energy that you have released through your practice this morning, that good, positive, healthy flow of clean energy that the extensions and the forward bends and the twists and the inversions bring to the body and to the mind. And then draw your chin down to meet your chest. Spend a moment to acknowledge the positive energy you've created inside. And then send some of that positive energy out into the world. And then gently release the backs of your hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards. Bring the tip of the index finger together with the tip of the thumb, just a gesture of wisdom, of physical intelligence and peacefulness that we can carry into our day as an intention. And then raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Thank you very much. So hopefully you feel as though you have really lifted your energy, you've given your body a real sense of flexibility and lightness, and you're ready for the day. So thank you very much for joining me.